Yeah, what's going on, people? It's your man, the White Bee. Once again, big shout out to my dog, Mine Scursis, for coming through and boosting the coin. So, we got some breaking news for the great and washed masses right now regarding Tyson Fury. So, Bricktop, bosh. He popped out. Listen, he heard my prayers. I'm going to call a spade here, man. It was only the other day that YB was praying to the boxing gods for his daily bread. Call me a liar. Who say God don't exist? It was only the other day the YB was praying to the boxing gods for some blessings. Yeah, for some silver coins to be trickled my way on the back of these mandingas who are fighting. Because that's what we do here, man. We bottom feeding. Yeah? Look at bottom feeders. Bottom feeders are organisms that survive off the waste of others. And that's what this social media game is, right? Some big fish does something up there, I don't know, takes a turd, and the YB's down here, man, feeding on it, essentially. That's what we do here, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man, about it. That's what we do. Yeah? End of the day. I can't lie about it. Anyway, this came out on the Ring Magazine's official channel, leaked. You can see it right here. Bricktop has confirmed that Tyson Fury still intends to come out of retirement and fight again in 2026, Frank Warren said. I spoke to him last week. He said that he's going to come back and fight next year. He wants to do it. Now, I can't remember when it was. Was it December last year? Time is diabolical. I think they say that. When I was at school, time used to go well slow. Every year felt like, whoa. As you get older, man, it just merges into one. Crazy. I think it was December 24. He got punched up by Alexander Usyk. So he's been out a year, which is what I said. I said, if we ain't got nothing fixing to happen within a year-ish, I think I said actually 2. 2 is definitely finished, but a year is normally when you start getting itch. Think about it. Fighters traditionally, they have 6 months off anyway. So you double that period up. It's normally around a year when people start, especially, it never really made no sense to miss this one. It's not like Fury just got beat and AJ's looking red hot and Fury's thinking, okay, no. Does that make sense? Yeah? AJ would have fought Fury at both of their primes. AJ's never the problem here. I don't care what no one says. AJ wants it. He'd have had this fight. It's Fury. And there's no better time really to get AJ. Yeah? He's coming off a massive knockout loss. I guess you can spin it the other way though, can't you? You can say, well, Dubois already knocked him out now. Pretty early as well, wasn't it? And it was embarrassing from the round 1. So does Fury want to have sloppy seconds? That's something Fury will have to discuss with himself. Does Tyson Fury like sloppy seconds? Listen, yeah? If I was offered some $100 million sloppy seconds, I'll be waving a flag. That's me all day, man. For sure. You best believe I'll hang out the back of Johnston for 100 mil. Come on, man, the Lord. He been known that one. Yeah? The YB would have been hang out the back of Johnston, Anthony John Stewart, for 100 schmilly. That's what he'd have been done. Right? And Tyson, whatever you say about it, you can't cheat your genetics, is a good saying I like to mention. You can't cheat them. And Tyson, the Hippo man, a pound note, it resonates with them, man, on a genetic level. Yeah? It's somewhat similar, I'd argue somewhat similar to the Talmuds, to be fair. The Talmuds and the Hippos, coin does something else to them, man, there. And the Nigerians. But you get the point, man. It hits them different, man. Light skin, man, we just want to sit back. We want to sit back, sip some pineapple juice, and have a few white girls in the cut. That's the truth, man, about the light skins. We are the meek. Yeah? That's what we are. Anyway, listen. It was obvious. Tyson was never... Tyson was never going to be able to turn... He was never going to be able to cheat his genetics and turn down 100 schmilly. That was never going to happen. Not on your Nelly was that going to happen. It doesn't even make sense to do that at any level. I don't care how much you've got. Allegedly, he's got around 200 mil. Well, added another X amount, 50, 75. I think it'll be a 2-fight deal as well. So he could easily add 100 to 150 mil, depending on what mood the accountant has got. Yeah? Almost double his net worth. Liquid. In a year. Why would you not do that? I don't even care if AJ was the hardest man on earth. I'd still get in there and get my block knocked right off of me for that amount of money. You never know, even if he was the hardest man. How many hardest men on earth have been beat before? So anyway, at the same time, whilst I've said all this, it does also have to be mentioned that we've been here before, haven't we? He retired, he came back. Well, he didn't come back, but you get the point. I'm retiring. Oh, I'm coming back. What was that? He talked about a bank robber, didn't he? What was that bank robber thing he said? Yeah, I'm not... What was it called? I don't know what the bank... He mentioned some bank robber's name. He said, yeah, I'm out of here, guys. I'm not... You get the point. It was some corny saying he threw out there. So we've had a few of these cycles of him coming back and allegedly coming back and allegedly retiring. But that's what he's always done. And he has always come back. Now, once the AJ fight's done, I'll be very shocked if he fights outside of... I mean, if Jake Paul wanted it, he would take that. But outside of fun little fights like that, fun and little gay fights like that, no chance. There's nothing for him. There's nothing at all. But this one I would be shocked at if he turned away from it. Bottom line. Anywho, Frank Warren went on to say, Fury's had a very busy year this year. He's obviously not had a fight this year. But as we've all seen, he's had his documentary. He's been filming with Netflix for his At Home with the Fury series. He's also got another documentary that is finishing off, plus other things he wants. I mean, he's told me categorically he wants to fight next year. So we'll sit down and see. And this lines up as well with what Eggy Hearn's been saying. Now again, some Tyson Fury homosexuals, they're off key, man. I'm just going to call a spade. They're off key. Oh, AJ never wanted it. You're just lying, man. Yeah? If AJ didn't want it, I'd tell you that. I'm not... Come on. Yeah, my name ain't Skins. Right? Me and AJ ain't down like that. So I ain't got to do no shilling for him. If AJ wanted it, bottom line, it was Fury who was always playing. Fact. Documented. Yeah? But Eggy, he mentioned this, and I've heard Turkey say it as well. Eggy said, the Saudis want the two, Tyson and AJ, to have a comeback fight. And then, in my opinion, Turkey will go straight to make the AJ Fury. I think how it works is Turkey will structure it in one deal. Yeah? Turkey will sign the warm-up fight and the AJ and Fury fight, whether it's a 1 or 2 fight deal at the same time. I don't think he's going to give AJ a stiff and Fury a stiff, and then on the never, yeah, we might do... No, it'll be done at once, in my opinion. But what do I know? Not a lot, to be fair. So, yeah, that's what I assume, though. I bring that up to say, who are they going to fight, though? Now, Turkey himself said, I heard it somewhere. I heard it somewhere. I heard Turkey. It came out of Turkey's mouth, is what I'm saying. For sure. This ain't no cap. Turkey said, oh my God, this dementia's killing me, man. What did he say? What did Turkey say? I was sat there. Fucking hell. And that was it. Turkey said, out of his mouth, he wants them to do a warm-up first. But who do they fight, is what I'm questioning here. Yeah? Turkey also mentioned, well, the reason I want them specifically to have a warm-up fight, because he was slagging off Boots Ennis. Turkey was slagging off Boots Ennis. Turkey said, I told Boots Ennis, if you want to move up from 147 and go to 154, you can do that at the York Hall with Eggy Hearn. I swear to God, that's what he said. It was on the Boxing Voice a month or two ago. He said, I told Jaron Ennis, if you want to have a warm-up fight after you've just become unified at 147, you can do that at the York Hall with Eggy Hearn. Yeah? Because they offered Boots Ennis Virgil Ortiz straight up. And Boots said, oh, I want a warm-up. So Turkey pied him off. He said, I'm not paying people to fight stiffs when they're undefeated and they're looking great. And he used Fury and AJ as an example. He said, well, with Fury and AJ, I'm happy to give them a warm-up because AJ got his block knocked off and Fury had another loss. Fury's had 2 losses on the trot, so it kind of makes sense. And I do tend to agree. I mean, it's better for us, really, if they build it up. But I think a few people have mentioned the risk with that is, look at Wilder and Joe Parker. That was supposed to be Wilder and Joe Parker, AJ and Ngannou. AJ delivered his business. Wilder did not. Now you can say, well, boy, it was obvious, Parker. Let me tell you now. Yeah? Let me tell you, man, right now. At that point in time, believe it or not, Wilder was a 10-1 favourite against Parker. That is more or less as big as it... No, tell a lie. As big as it gets is like an Inoue fight. Inoue is like 33-1, but anyway, outside of that, 10-1 is more or less as good as it gets. Yeah? And look what happened there. Now we can look back and say, well, it was obvious, no one knew that. Else you'd be 10 times richer right now, betting on Parker. That said, Parker always had some upside. I think that's fair to say. Who are they going to pick, though? I'm not even sure who they got right now. And some people have argued, well, just go in there and get cracked straight on with it. You're both veterans now. There's no real need to have warm-up. This is like the 5th rebuild now, right? For both fighters, more or less. Fury had the build for Vlad. He then had the build for Wilder. He ran with that. And then he's had the build now. Come on, man. Too many rebuilds for established heavyweights. But promotionally speaking, as long as if there's a banana skin, that's what I'm saying. Who knows what AJ's got left? Although he looked good against Ngannou, and he looked okay against Wallin. I wasn't a big fan of that performance. He was doing a little bit. He was waiting. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know, man. If AJ's gonna slip on another banana, it should be Fury at the very least. Because who do you put him in there with? At the top of the division, there's no punks. Like, I wouldn't trust AJ to fight Wardley, for example. Not that he would, but you get what I'm saying. I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't even trust Fury to fight Wardley. That's his big coming out night. That night when you come out, a bit like Dubois when he fought AJ, that night, sometimes cats can just do things when you're finished and you're looking ahead to your next big fight with AJ and Fury. And Wardley's in there thinking, Parker's just beat me and I'm going all out. It's a lot of risk there, for example. Not that it would be Wardley, but I'm just saying. Who are you going to do? Parker, it won't be him. Dubois, it won't be him. Cabaret, it won't be. Michael Hunter. Bacoli, see what I mean? Like, how... Pulev? I mean, Fury fight Pulev, maybe? It almost don't make sense, if I'm honest. Because the fight would have to be so unserious. It would have to be like that. It would have to be Fury versus Pulev. And that is like, what are we doing? What's the point in that? You couldn't even do AJ and Frank Sanchez, for example, just throwing it out there. You couldn't do AJ and Jared Anderson, in my opinion. Or even Fury and Jared Anderson. Do you really want to do that? And this young cat turns up and... Because no doubt, Fury might be 10-1 against Jared Anderson. AJ might be 3 or 4 or 5-1 against Jared Anderson. Oops. I could see an oopsie doopsie. It might go swimmingly. And hopefully it does. Hopefully whoever they pick, they both look great. And that only builds promotion. But if they don't, for whatever reason, AJ versus Tony Yoka, again, you'd back AJ. You only need that Buster Douglas night, though. And we're sitting here thinking, oh, and it's happened, I've got to be honest, it has happened quite a lot. Where Turkey's tried to set things up and then something's gone left. It tends to go that way more often than not, to be fair. Or at least half the time. And is this the fight? We've waited so long for it. I don't want to be sitting there thinking, you know what I mean? It's just not... Because you've got 2 chances, basically, for something to go wrong. One guy can look great and the other one can shit the bed and you're back to square one. And it's like, oh my God, we've proper flapped this one. Even something like, I don't know, AJ versus Joe Joyce, for example. Right? AJ versus Joe Joyce, I mean, you'd think that should be or even Fury versus Joe Joyce. Yeah, that should be winnable. I'd like, and you know what? For Joe Joyce's sake, I'd like that for him. I wouldn't mind seeing AJ and Joe Joyce. It'll be a fun fight whilst it lasts. Joe's slow enough. I wouldn't necessarily... Yeah, I think Joe deserves one of them. Joe Joyce... Honestly, that would be perfect, actually. Joe Joyce should be featured. If they do a promotional build-up, bearing in mind we assume Fury and AJ will be in the UK, it makes sense to try and get British fighters in there. In fact, if Dillian White hadn't just got smoked, you could have done Joe Joyce versus Tyson Fury and Dillian White and AJ, right? That gets Dillian White and AJ's little thing finished, which kind of does need to be finished, or certainly before the Itama fight needed to be finished. After all, they were scheduled to fight in August 23, right? Which fell off for whatever reason. I'd like to see Joe Joyce in there. That makes sense, because that is a fight I'd be confident both men could win. But stupider things would have happened, but that would be ridiculous. If AJ couldn't handle Joe Joyce, that would be a problem at this point, because Joe looks about 50 years old. In CTE years, it's just way too slow. I don't care how leaky and how finished AJ is. Joe's too slow and he's leaky himself. Got a lot of heart, Joe. I like Joe in that respect, but the defense, and he's 50 years old, literally 50 years old. He turned pro too late, in my opinion, faffing around with the amateurs. So yeah, you could do Joe Joyce in there. They're not going to dig up. Well, why not? Since we're just trying to get to the Fury and AJ fight, I'm gonna tell you, man, right now, I wouldn't mind seeing Dillian White and AJ, just for the banter of it. Okay, Itama knocked him out in one round. That don't mean Itama's 20 years old and fresh. AJ's coming off a knockout loss. I wouldn't mind, sorry. I'd take that. It's a shame, really, Dillian White couldn't last 4 or 5 rounds. He literally didn't land a punch, so it's a bit like that, but... There's some talk on the grape. No, you couldn't. Could you do that though? There's some talk of Deontay Wilder and AJ first. Do you want Deontay Wilder and AJ? Is that risky though? Wilder looks finished, doesn't he? Actually, bosh. Just remembered what we heard the other day about Dave Allen. If Dave Allen beats the Nefandorah Makhmudov, they're looking to slide in Dave Allen and AJ. That is what Eggy Hearns literally said. Or Dave Allen and Deontay Wilder. So you could do AJ and Dave Allen, Tyson Fury and Joe Joyce, which sets up perfectly for a British Derby final of AJ and Fury, right? Now the downside is, could Dave Allen clip AJ? Even if he's 20-1, that gives him a 5% chance, right? A 5% chance. It don't sound like much, but it's a 5% chance. I've seen crazier things. My friend went to what would they call it? The roulette table, right? He's spinning the roulette. Oops. Busted. It goes 20 reds in a row, which is some crazy probability that it should never happen. But we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm happy that this cat here, Tyson Fury's coming back. Rightly or wrongly, man. Anyway, folks, I'm out of here, man. Woo-de-woo-woo-woo. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Hopefully we get it. There's no more. I don't know why he wants to play games. Just commit to it, bro. Just commit, bro, and go for it. I think he will. He's like a woman, any Tyson Fury. He likes to play. Oh no, I don't wanna. No, I might date you. I'm busy tonight. Yeah, no. Scrap all that, bro. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Smash the like button, subscribe. Check out my Patreon. We got bare videos, exclusive videos here for the masses, man. Yeah, political topics. All the things you, man, could never imagine on here, man. Click this bindi right here, man. $6 a month. Buy your man the YB a drink and get plugged in to the J Pill. Johnny.